Broadcasting to Stoke-on-Trent and the world. This is Six Towns Radio.
Okay, I'm at Gladstone Pottery Museum with Finn Caldwell, the puppetry director for Warhorse. We've just seen the horse in the courtyard here at Gladstone, and for a second or two I was thinking, this is a real horse. Is that what you get quite a lot?
Yeah, we do actually, and I'm really glad you say it. It is amazing what people see in him. I mean, actually, we can't see him now because we're on the radio, but actually, when you look at him, he's actually quite structural. You know, you can see the lines of his construction. You can actually see the puppeteers operating him. Yeah. But really quickly, people start to say, "Oh, it's a real horse." And actually, when he starts to come towards you, you have a sense that, "Whoa, this is a real horse coming towards me." And I think that's partly because of how brilliant the puppeteers are. You know, we really worked for a long time studying horses, horse mannerisms, the way horses think, and trying to get that into the puppet. But I also think it's to do with your imagination. You know, we all know as kids how to play at make-believe, do you know what I mean? And actually, when you put a puppet in front of people, there's a sort of subliminal invitation to sort of go, do you remember when we were kids and we used to have like this toy buttons and we'd agree that this was real? Yeah. And you're sort of doing that with a puppet. You sort of the puppeteers are sort of saying to you, whether you know it or not, do you want to be a kid again? Do you want to play? Do you want to believe? Will you believe with me that this is real? So your imagination goes into this sort of childish place where you're creating the horse. Yeah. You're part of its creation. And I think, therefore, when you're watching the show, people get really attached to it. They get really emotionally involved because they're creating it. They're making it real. So when the horse gets in trouble, they feel for it. Or when he wins at something, you know, they feel that excitement too. Because they're making it happen.
Watching you with the horse, it was like you were his master.
Well, I was actually in the original production of Warhorse, so I've been one of those horses. So I really know what those guys are doing. It's a really, really hard job. It's physically very, very hard, but it's also the three of them are working together. You notice they don't talk to each other at all. And even without me giving them instruction, that horse knows how to move, how to think, how to feel as one creature. So that's the three of them learning how to, by breathing together, by listening to each other physically, they're able to think and feel and move at the same time, doing the same thing without talking about it. It really is an extraordinary process. That, you know, I can only say that because I was once part of it. But it is unbelievable. You feel like you're performing some kind of magic because the horse just goes, you know, somebody claps their hands and the horse runs. The horse just decides to run. And it's the horse doing it, not those three guys. So even me watching it from the outside, 7 years down the line, it's still a completely amazing process to watch.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of theatre, of course. It's something that, you know, you can go and embrace, and people go, it's different than watching a film. Yeah. You know, it's something more in your face. And this production has done so well so far. It's going to Stoke later on this year.
It is, September.
It's just done amazing, hasn't it?
Well, it's been amazing. And, I mean, one of the most amazing things to me is we never set out to make a blockbuster. We were there at the National Theatre, you know, the two original directors, Tom Morris and Marianne Elliott, were there putting on a play that was a real risk. They got Handspring Puppet Company involved from South Africa, and they said, right, let's do a show that's got a central character that's a puppet, that's a central character that doesn't talk, and that's a horse. It's not a horse pretending to be a human being, it's a horse. And the audience are going to have to interact, to be engaged by this central character for more than 2 hours. It's a really big risk. It was a really big risk. And we, working on the show, you know, it's also a very, if you put Hamlet on, the text's there. You read the text, you learn your lines, you sort the blocking out, and the play goes on. We made a lot of this up. We had a fantastic writer, Nick Stafford, but a lot of the communication that was being done was also being done by the puppetry. So that was all being made up in the room. So we come to press night after this really long rehearsal process, our first press night at the National, and Tom and Marianne, our director, said to us, don't read the press. You know, basically it's going to be awful, they thought. They thought we were going to get a real kicking in the press, but of course we put it on and people were blown away by it. And every time the show makes jumps forward, when it jumped from the National to the West End, when it went from the West End to Broadway, and now it's doing this amazing national tour, and it's so brilliant because so many people are getting to see it that wouldn't perhaps normally. We're amazed. It feels like our little show that we made in a sort of an experimental, weird kind of way, and now suddenly here it is, and people are blown away by it. And it's changing theatre, which is, I think, really exciting, because kids respond to it really, really well. I think because we live in a very visual age, children, I mean, TV has a lot to answer for, but, you know, a lot of the communication that goes on in the modern world is visual. So kids get it. they see the puppet and they go, yeah, I understand. I understand how he's feeling through how he moves.
Yeah.
And I think that's really getting children involved in theatre, which is very exciting as well.
Yeah. Well, the puppetry has put a whole new breath of fresh air into the story, because it's an amazing story anyway. And you just said that kids can come and watch it. Anyone can come and watch it. It's for everybody, isn't it?
Oh, very much so. Yeah, it really appeals to very young children, absolutely adults, and old people as well. You know, it works on so many different levels. It's got amazing music. It's got fantastic staging. There's singing in it. The puppetry, of course, is astonishing. The movement in it is beautiful. But one of the things that makes me laugh is it's the grown-ups that really get it. It's the grown-ups that really get hit in the heart by it, because actually the kids are going, this is brilliant. Mum, can you stop crying, please? Because the kids are seeing, oh, this is brilliant, this is play, this is horses being alive. But of course the grown-ups understand the war implications and all the baggage that comes with that. And so, yeah, without realising it, sometimes the parents end up being the ones that are having a little weep at the end.